Welcome, Crest Hammer YouTube page. This truck runs, idles, not very well, but I need it to run and idle well because it's going to be my daily driver. So what I need to do now is teach myself how to tune. I've tuned multiple four-wheelers, dirt bikes with carbs, no problem. I've tuned very few V8s with carbs, but I have never tuned anything with EFI, where I actually went in and did the tuning and everything. I've had multiple vehicles that have tuning done to them, but I've never done the tuning myself. I'm going to teach myself how to do it this time. First time I started this truck, I had this port was open and so was this port. So I didn't really have to worry about my IAC or like how much air was getting into my intake. The second time I had opened this up a little bit, the screw up a little bit, and that had messed some stuff and that had made it idle all right, but not very good. I started it off camera with my kids and I had to crank this screw all the way down so the IAC or the valve or whatever, the throttle body flapper was all the way closed, and it ran like crap. It was idling at like 200 RPM, would barely stay running. I haven't touched it since. Now what I'm going to do, what I need to do, is connect to it and follow the instructions to getting my IAC done right. Everything's connected. Now I'm starting the vehicle. Maybe. I'm not touching the gas because I want it to do its own thing. So now I need to change some stuff in my tune, so I'm going to stop. Okay, so it's recording now. I don't really know what I'm doing, but we're idling low as crap. Okay, so that was too much air. I mean, it's a good, if I can get it to idle a little bit lower than this, but it sounds decent. You can tell it's rich as hell. Look at all the crap coming out of there. That was me hitting the gas trying to get it to idle a little bit. I shut off the short-term fuel trim, which I believe was probably a bad idea because now it's just running like poop. The OBD2 sensors are a little closer to what they were. Just need this thing to heat up so I can get the probably shouldn't have shut off the short-term fuel trims because it's just running like poopy now. idled and ran for about 10 minutes. Everything got up to 190, so I'm going to hot. Oh, that's not good. After that initial 2 starts, just broke it even worse. I went to check the oil, and apparently I burnt a hole, or my dipstick got hot, and some of the iron things frayed. Now you can't get the, had to rip the dipstick out, but now can't put it back in. So I took that off, put on the stock one I had laying around, and this broke off. So I need a dipstick. Got the new dipstick installed, bolted in, looks a lot better. And what does it say? It says way too much oil in there. All right, I got my idle airflow tables close enough, good enough. Now I'm gonna start working on my VE tables. Okay, so I disabled open loop and short-term speed. Now I'm trying to get the VA tables dialed in. They're nowhere near where they need to be. Everything is super lean or rich, I forgot which. But I also updated some of my graphs so I could log it better. That first drive I went live on, I apparently logged everything wrong, and my fuel pump went out. I have since replaced the fuel pump, ready to go on round 2. Reverse. Pops out of reverse pretty easy. Got to figure that out. And it ain't moving in reverse. I'm gonna have to put a lower set of gears in this, or a bigger set of gears. I don't know, less fast set of gears so I can go. I got a feeling just the tuning on this needs so much love. But hey, we made it. We're back. First drive successful. I don't know. I think I'm just so rich that it just sucks. Okay. I was trying to tune using the air-fuel ratio from a sensor I don't have installed. Now I figured that out. Instead of doing all the crazy stuff they wanted me to do, I'm trying to tune now off of my current O2 sensors and everything I have. As you can see, it's dark out now. I threw like 7 or 8 different tunes in it. I was going the wrong direction, wasn't doing good. So now what I did is I went to the HP Tuners website, pulled a tune off of there that was kind of close to what I got going on, and loaded it in to my computer. I haven't loaded it into the truck yet, but I'm gonna load that tune in and start working from there. That first tune I had was just crap, and I kept messing with it, and I kept really screwing with it, not really knowing what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do now is load, start over, VE tuning, start over. Okay, load the tune I just put in here into the okay, that's right. Put the tune I just put into the uploaded. I'm gonna write it to the truck now. So I found the flaw in my ways. I thought the AFR was in the installed. You could get AFR from the installed O2 sensors. You need to install a third-party O2 sensor to get a good AFR, because narrowband versus wideband. So I am going to start trying to tune it off of the long-term fuel trim. Try to start tuning it off the long-term fuel trim and get it close. Just got back from that first drive. Everything's running hot, and as you can see, all the exhaust burnt off except that one. Tell my narrow bands were all messed up on my left side, and it's because this coil isn't firing. This coil does have some issues back here. That's why I put it on coil number 1, so if it did go bad, it'd be easy to find. And it went bad. So I'm gonna pull this one out. I got a new one ordered. As soon as it gets in, we'll install her. All right, got that installed. Pretty quick and easy. Let's get back to tuning. How I need to go at this now is I need to use the long-term fuel trim and short-term fuel trim to tune the vehicle close enough, and then once I get the wideband in the truck, then I can tune it correctly. So basically this video is just getting the truck close enough, safe enough to drive to town, which is 5 miles. Drive to town, get some fuel, and then drive back. I don't plan on going over 4,000 RPMs, and I don't plan on going wide open throttle at any time. All right, see if she starts. For the last, I don't know, however long, is I go for a drive, record the log, take the long-term fuel trim, multiply it into the VE table, and then multiply it by half into the VE table, and then try to get the VE table close. This is my last drive I'm going to do that for, and then I'm going to go back to doing the math. I'm going to re-enable the math, do the same thing with the math sensor, or the math table. After drive number 3, my MAF sensor got it pretty close. I was liking where we're going. Pulled in, stopped right here, and my front right tire locked up. Had to spin and burn out to get where it's at. This front right tire is, I can't even put my hand, I can barely put my hand on this tire without burning it. Wheel got so hot I couldn't even touch it. And if you look at it, it looks like some rocks and stuff got inside the brake or some other issue. So I'm going to take this wheel off and figure out what's up. I don't see anything too obvious, so I'm just going to clean the crap out of everything. Brake fluid isn't as clean as it can be, so I'm just going to suck all of this out of here. So I got this all cleaned up. Screwdriver and a piece of a pig mat, shove it in the hole, clean it all up, make everything look pretty. I'm gonna replace these brakes. These calipers are only like 30 bucks, so I decided just to replace both of them. I'm also gonna replace these brake line, these soft hoses, because those are an issue also. Old one versus new one. Seems to be the right one. Sweet. Okay, got that on there good enough for now. Everything's tight. I'll have my wife come out here and help me bleed the brakes later. I'm gonna do this side exactly like I did the other side, so you don't need to see it. All right, I am going to redo my idle airflow. Since it is one of the coldest days I've ever had in Texas, I'm going to connect to the vehicle. Gotta get my handy dandy little cord. Connect. Well, first thing I need to do for this one, you just take a Historista, start the truck, let it idle, let it warm up. See, it's not very. About to go for a drive to test the brakes, continue tuning. A lot of drives to tune this MAF or to calibrate the MAF because it was so far off, because it was just a base tune for an LS1. And I did a few different things. First thing I did was I have a bigger intake. My intake is a 4-inch intake, and I also have an LS3 card style MAF sensor, which is more accurate, but it's more difficult to tune, is what I'm told. It's more difficult to dial in from what I initially had. So just a lot of driving, a lot of running the engine. Right now it's running pretty lean, but we're getting closer to what we were. Screwing with it once I get it close. Yeah, I keep screwing with everything, not just changing one setting. I'm changing multiple settings at a time, and that screws with them all. And then, yeah, I just need to focus on one thing at a time and just let it go that way. I've just finished running my last time. Everything's pretty close. It's, I mean, a couple percentages off. Well, we got 7 right there, 5 right there, 5, 5, 5, and then it's rich down low. I would rather have it rich than lean, so that's good. I just need to do quite a bit of adjustment, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do the fine-tune adjustment of what I have with the narrow bands I have installed. So I'm going to call that close enough for now, and then tune everything better when I have my wideband installed. I want to make a shout out to Goat Rope Garage. That guy has an awesome YouTube page. He makes great videos that are super easy to understand and follow. Obviously, HP Tuners has a pretty good YouTube page to follow. Matt Stanford has a pretty good page that does HP Tuners also, and there was one more that I watched quite a bit. If I'm missing one, I'm sorry, but I usually just use these 3 guys. I think it's like HP Academy. There we go. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.